これがデザート。ありがとう。
What is good, everyone? My name is Gish, and now listen, is it crazy to say that this season of anime was a lot better than last season? Huh? Now listen, hold on. I know we had JJK airing last season. Banger. Freeling. Banger. Fire Force. Banger. But like, listen, the season had so many low-key heavy hitters, and I'm here to put you on. But before we do, obviously, spoiler warning, and also, make sure you got your food ready, man. Make sure you got your lunch, your dinner, a little snack, whatever it is, because I'm about to yap. Let's get into it. Starting off strong, Witch Hat Atelier just wrapped up season 1, and honestly, this might be the best looking anime out of this entire season. So quick recap, if you didn't watch. We follow Coco, who finds out that anyone can do magic if they know how to draw the right seal, not just people born with it. And that secret alone breaks the whole rule structure of the world. And then later on, she becomes this guy's apprentice, Kifri, who looks a lot like Gojo. And alongside Aga, Richie, Weenie, and everybody, and most of the season, it's just comfy Atelier life, you know? Learning magic, calm vibes, you know the deal. And then fast forward, the finale happens and just ruins all of that. Like, Aga gets cornered by one of the brim caps and almost gets a forbidden seal carved into her skin. Weenie saves her at the last second though, but the cost? He gets hit with the same forbidden magic and turns into an actual monster, losing himself completely and running off into a cave. That's how it ends. Like, no fix, no reversal, just gone. And it's been getting compared to Fullmetal Alchemist all season, and that ending is exactly why. And also, visually, this is one of the best looking shows all year. The magic actually looks tactile instead of just flashy effects, and season 2 is already confirmed, so we're gonna be eating. Now for this next one, all I want to say is I am so glad that they didn't go with like a weird route with this one, because they could have, but they didn't. They were normal about it, and I'm so glad that they were, because this show was so good. Kill Blue just wrapped up season 1, and season 2 got confirmed literally minutes after the finale aired. So quick catch up, we follow Juzo, who's a legendary 39-year-old assassin who gets stung by a mysterious wasp and wakes up as himself, but at the prime age of 13 years old. And his boss's response is just send him to infiltrate a middle school. There's a whole reason why, but I'm not going to get into it. And this entire season, it's just pretty much about him balancing like actual assassin work with homeroom and clubs, and somehow it just works way better than it should. And the finale brings in a girl named Mai, who just shows up out of nowhere pretty much and just confesses to Juzo, refusing to back down even after he turns her down immediately, which is what I like. Because yo, listen, this is such a normal thing, and I don't know why why they do this in some animes, but like, yo, Juzo knows he's 39 mentally. He is not going out with none of these kids, man. Anyways, he turns her down immediately, and that kicks off a rivalry with Norin, who's another girl who's already been circling him all season. And on top of all that drama, there's also one of the most funniest like parent-teacher meetings that I've ever seen. Anyways, it ends on a genuinely sweet note. It ends on like Juzo starting to think about a life beyond just being a hitman, you know, which is a real shift for a guy who spent his entire adult life only knowing how to kill people. Season 2 is already in production, and I'm just glad the story isn't done. It's such a good show. Like, it's such a, like, watch it, man. Just watch it. Next up, Daemons of the Shadow Realm. 12 episodes in so far, and it is stupidly slept on, which I don't know why, because it's by the same person who made Fullmetal Alchemist. Anyways, we follow twins, Yuru and Asa, who grew up in like an isolated village, until armed men in helicopters storm in looking for you and kill every adult on sight. Turns out the village existed outside of time, and Asa in the village wasn't even his real sister. Since then, Yuru's been hunting down his like real parents while dealing with Daemons, which are supernatural beings pretty much, And in the recent episodes, they showed Yuru bluffing his way through a fight with two terrifying Daemons by pretending he already had his like ultimate ability, which is his seal power. And then a new guy named Ken just showed up, claiming to know about Yuru's parents, although we don't even know if he's telling the truth or not. But anyways, 24 episodes, halfway in, and so far I have not seen a single filler episode, unlike some other animes. But anywho, if you've been skipping this one,
Gob. Gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble. Gobble.
let this be your sign. You should give it a try, because low-key, it's kind of peak. Next up, drumroll please. I made friends with the second prettiest girl in class. Now listen, I know the title sounds crazy if you haven't seen it, but trust me. And if you have seen it, then you already know it's peak. Anyways, quick catch up. We follow Maki, who's just like every other rom-com MC. You know, class outcast, zero friends, keeps to himself, the whole dealio. And somehow, some way, he actually ends up bonding with the girl in class named Umi, who everyone calls the second prettiest girl in class. And it all starts off because Umi sees him and is just genuinely curious about him, not out of pity. And from there on out, their friendship builds slowly and steady throughout the entire season. And Maki spends basically the entire show convinced that there is no way someone like her would ever see him as anything more than just friends, even while the audience can just clearly see it building. And the finale wraps things up around Valentine's Day and Umi's birthday, where she tries making chocolates for him, and then they don't turn out right. And then big bro Maki's like, yo, listen, I'm gonna come over, we're gonna do it together, we're gonna bond together, and they did bond together, and it was great. And he also gave her something back on White Day. And it closes out with her birthday party at a friend's house with the whole group there. So it's all good vibes, it's calm, it's chill. It's a soft, low-key ending. No big confession, no big dramatic moment. Just the two of them quietly getting closer the same way the whole season was built. And I know some fans wanted a bigger payoff, but yo, honestly, if you're into stories that just take their time from start to finish, this was great. Highly recommend. Moving on. That time I got reincarnated as a slime season 4. Yo, honestly, every single time I started going deep into slime, I feel like such a nerd. But yo, this season compared to last season was just so much better. Quick recap. After the Founders Festival, Rumour's dream of building a world where humans and monsters actually coexist closer than ever. Like, Tempest is thriving, alliances are forming, everything's looking good. And then you've got Grandpa Rosso, who's a former hero who now heads the 5 elders of the kingdom of Starosso, and his granddaughter Maribel, who sees Rimru's rise as a direct threat and want to crush it before it gets any further. Now, their whole philosophy is that humanity needs to be protected by being controlled, which directly clashes with everything Rimuru stands for. Now, in the early episodes, it's mainly about nation building and political maneuvering, which sounds slow, but actually sets up the stakes really well. Then things escalate fast. We're talking ancient ruins connected to the sorceress nation of Soma that gets explored. And then a chaos dragon gets revived, which is exactly as bad as it sounds. And then Milim gets forced to confront her past, which, if you know her backstory, it hits way harder than you'd ever expect. Anyways, it's a 5-core run, totaling 60 episodes, so we're genuinely only in the early chapters of the story, but the foundation is strong, and it's already delivering way more than Season 3 did. So if you fell off during Season 3, hey man, this is your sign. Hop back on slime. Next up, Marriage Toxin. Just wrapped up Season 1, and Season 2 already got announced for this coming January, so this show did not waste any time trying to prove itself. We follow Jero, who's an elite assassin, whose family basically tells him, marry someone, or your sister's going to get forced into it. So this man, with zero social skills, goes out and recruits May, who's a professional marriage swindler, as his advisor. So it's pretty much an assassin and a con artist trying to find him a wife. Honestly, great premise. And the season runs through 3 villain arcs, capped off by the Beastmaster, and episode 12 had Jero unlock his poison blood to take him down in one of the cleanest animated fights of the whole season. I'm telling you, Bones cooked. And the finale is a cool down after all that. There's this girl, Arashiyama, who throws a big party to thank Jero's crew, And May immediately starts scheming for a romantic angle, and Gerald genuinely starts opening up for the first time, but it ends on a cliffhanger. His sister warns him that the Gerald branch families are plotting something, and there's a specific someone shown stalking May in the last shot. So season 2 has it set up already. By far, the best anime to drop this season. Heck, I might even say anime of the year. You want to know why? Because every episode was banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. And you already know what anime I'm talking about. Re:Zero, season 4, just wrapped up its first half of the Lost Arc. The second half drops in August. And all I gotta say is peak. Because I mean, yo, the story's getting deeper, the story's getting more confusing, the gore is getting gorier, and I'm all here for it. Anyway, quick recap from season 3. For Stella was a disaster. I mean, they won, but the cost was brutal, because I mean, Rem is still in a coma. Krush lost all her memories. Julius had his entire existence eaten by gluttony, so nobody even knows who he is anymore. And so Subaru's plan is to head over to the Pallades Watchtower, which is this massive fortress at the literal edge of the world, sitting in a desert that even Reinhardt, the strongest person alive, couldn't conquer. And the whole plan is to go there and find some answers to their problems. And the party heading there is Subaru, Emilia, Beatrice, Ram, Julius, Melly, and a sleeping Ram, and also Anastasia. Except Anastasia's body is being piloted by an artificial spirit who coincidentally has the same name as the Witch of Greed, Echidna. And when they get to the tower, they meet Shala, the sage, who is the all-knowing guardian of the watchtower, who is also an absolute baddie, by the way. Not gonna pretend I didn't notice, but moving on. What this arc does is just systematically destroy Subaru, psychologically over 11 episodes.
どないしたん？
いやなんでもねえよ
そしたら
Like, he starts losing memories. There's signs he's being manipulated or possessed. By episode 10, this man is hiding Melly's body while not fully in control of himself. Then Ram catches him sneaking around at night, and in the finale, he's about to go after Ram before Emilia stops him, and he completely breaks down and finally admits he's lost his memories in this loop. And like, he just gives up and tells the truth, all because Emilia is the only thing keeping him anchored to who he is. And that's where the Lost Arc ends. Like, Subaru finally gets a moment of clarity. Emilia pulls him back from the edge, and he makes a decision that even if everyone in the tower forgets him, he will never forget her or his friends. It's genuinely one of the best Emilia moments in the whole series. Although obviously Prettiest is best girl, but Emilia earned her respect this arc. And that's a wrap. Now listen, I know there were a couple good ones I missed, like Dr. Stone, Wisteria, which I really wanted to watch, Rent a Girl. Actually, no, not Rent a Girlfriend. I actually don't know who and how are people still watching Rent a Girlfriend. And it just got announced for another season. That mind boggles me, but whatever. T-Bait. I tried watching T-Bait. I actually got through season 1. Tried watching season 2. I actually couldn't. The pacing, the animation. One of my boys told me that they're literally like taking out big parts from the anime that was mentioned in the manhwa. So I might as well just read it. But anyways, all that aside, I genuinely appreciate you watching. If you could like, comment, subscribe, that'd be great. And also join the Discord. But again, all that aside, I hope you have a good night or a good day, whatever time it is. And I hope to see you soon. I'll probably make a video on anime coming out this summer. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully I can get around it. But until then, peace.